on my TV show, and they were going to Alabama. Do you remember that, Marvin?
Yes, I remember that. Man, that was a long time ago.
It was, I think, 1998. Good morning, my friend. How are you?
I'm doing well. Good morning. How about yourself? How are you?
Doing great, man. Good to have you on. Excited about catching up with you, and also we'll get into some football and of course, that fateful play when you saved the game against LSU, but ultimately it cost you your football career. But let's start with the business at hand. Your new book, Physical and Mental Fitness at 40 Plus. And your story is not unique. There are a lot of former athletes that after their playing days are over, balloon up or get out of shape. Just a few years ago, you were over 300 pounds. And you still look like you had, people could see that you'd been an athlete and probably a football player, but you weren't happy. Your weight was out of control. You weren't as healthy as you needed to be. And you made a decision to do something about it. And you called on your years of training and you put together a plan. And now you are, in a word, ripped. I mean, ripped. And you use that knowledge and you use the experience that you had to get into that kind of shape to help others. Am I on the right track here?
You're definitely on the right track. It was one of those days when I sat there and I just looked at myself in the mirror, 300 pounds wearing size 44 pants.
Jeez.
I knew then that, this wasn't what I wanted. My back was hurting. My knees were hurting. I was carrying all that extra weight, The stresses of life will just cause you to not pay attention to you at times.
Exactly.
So, I had to start back paying attention to me. And not only did I pull from the knowledge that I had from playing sports and working with magnificent strength coaches throughout my life, I started doing research. What does a 40-year-old body or a late 30-year-old body need to do to transform? Because, again, your body doesn't work like it used to work when you were in your 20s and early 30s. So, I had to approach it from the standpoint of looking at my metabolism, what I eat, how do I trigger certain things, and how do I recover? Because at this age, recovery is more important than anything else.
Yeah, and just I have not read the book, but just looking at the cover, that's what this seems to be about. Not just the physical transformation that you made and getting in physical shape, but as you said, the stresses in life that can make you put yourself on the back burner. You put everybody else first. You put your job first. I deal with that. Long days. And this is about a mental healing as well, it seems to me.
Yeah, it's how do you get the fitness as a whole? Just because you go to the gym doesn't mean you're fit. I was still going to the gym when I was 300 pounds, but clearly I wasn't fit, because, things in my life weren't in order for me to be completely fit. So I had to step outside of myself and just examine my life as a whole. And, how do I get to mental fitness as well as the physical aspect of fitness? And that was one of the things that drove me more than anything else, wanted to be mentally fit, because I knew once I was mentally fit, the physical part would become a lot easier to obtain.
You said you did research. You said that you put together this program, and now obviously we can find out about it in the book. But what did you find out about yourself when you were going through this transformation that, and you've alluded to it already, but that will help other people overcome their obstacles? What buttons did you push? I mean, it's one thing to say, I want to do this. It's one thing to research it. It's one thing to have a plan, but you still physically, mentally have to do it. What was the key for you to do it and to get where you're at now?
I talk about it in the book, and the basics of it is habits versus routines. Wow. Because when you have habits in life, everybody always says, I have bad habits. You never hear anybody say, I have good habits. It's always bad habits, and bad habits were driving me. So for me, it was developing a routine and sticking to that routine and developing many goals along the way to help guide me to my end goal, all while operating within my routine. Because, again, anytime you hear somebody say it's habits, most of the time they're saying, something bad. You don't hear anything good about habits most of the time. So, that was it for me, developing that system, operating within it, and after so long, you just get so used to it that it becomes second nature. It becomes a part of life. So for me, that was the biggest thing that I had to learn about myself. How well could I be committed to this and stay on track?
Marvin Constant with us this morning, talking about his new book, Physical and Mental Fitness at 40 Plus, Workout Plans for Sustaining Long-Term Health and Fitness Success While Maintaining Mental Health. All right, from the day that you started, how long did it take you to make this transformation?
Altogether, it probably took me about 18 months altogether. I had some highs and I had some lows, because again, going through holidays and everything else, there's a lot of pitfalls in life that'll cause you to resort back to what you're used to. So, it took about 18 months in total, yeah. Now, and I'm still not done. I'm still working.
Still working, always a work in progress. Now, you know what a lot of people are going to say. They're going to say, well, Marvin was a football player. Marvin had all that to fall back on. He had that knowledge. He had been shaped. I never was an athlete. All right, I've been, they're going to say he can do it, but I can't do it. But you've got examples, even in the information that you sent me, of other people that have already done it on your program. So I want to stress to people, maybe they won't get to the level that you've gotten to, but they can improve their health, their physical and mental well-being through this program. It's not just for athletes, right?
Right, that is correct. It is for anybody. It says at 40 plus, but it actually applies to anybody. The biggest thing about it is it's workouts that you can do and you won't hurt yourself, because I don't have to go out and bench 500 pounds anymore. I don't need to squat 600 pounds anymore. At no point in my day do I have to be a superhero and flip trucks off people. So the workouts are designed so that you get a nice burn. You're going to lean out. You're going to feel good. You're not going to be hurting like somebody just beat you up with a baseball bat. And as far as everyday people, a lot of you people are familiar with comedian Funny Man. Funny Man went on the program, and you can see him lean out, and he got a six-pack. You can see him. He's on my website. My son is on my website. My son never played a sport. He's 15 years old. He dropped 82 pounds.
Oh, it's remarkable looking at these pictures of Marco. I mean, it's unbelievable. He was flabby. I don't know any other way to put it. He was flabby, and now he looks like a track star, Marvin.
Yeah, I taught him how to work out. I talked to him about nutrition, what not to put in his body, all the things I talk about in the book, because you don't have to go out and spend a lot of money on healthy foods, because that's the thing about fitness. Most people have put such a high price tag on healthy foods and on fitness programs, because a lot of times when you buy fitness books or fitness programs, it's usually going to cost you around $100 to $150 to get one of these things. I wanted it to be priced at a price where the everyday person can go get it and live a healthy lifestyle. So literally, for the price you pay for a cheeseburger, you can buy this book.
What did you find out about diet when you were, because the word diet in itself to me is kind of a bad word, because you say diet, you think about restricting yourself. What did you learn about eating healthy where you could reach your goals and not starve yourself?
The biggest thing that I learned from my research and from trying it on myself was, at this age, stop worrying about calories. There's something else that you should worry about a lot more than calories, and it'll be a lot more beneficial to you in obtaining the success you desire. It's not calories. Calories is like the third thing that I look at. So the people want to find out the magic to this and what they need to look at. It's all in my book.
Well, we got to get the book. Tell us how people can get it.
You can get the book at 40plusstrong.com. That's the number 40, and then the words plusstrong.com. 40plusstrong.com.
Write that down, folks, and because I'm going to get a copy. I'm going to tell you, people that know me know I'm in and out of fitness all the time. I go through kicks where I'm on it, but I want to read Marvin's book and I want to learn from it. All right, we'll touch on the book one more time before we go. We're getting short on time. I got to ask you, about that fateful day on November 6, 1999. You were a great football player for the University of Alabama. You were going to go on an NFL career. You saved the game. You and Reggie Miles stopping Josh Booty on the goal line. But in the process, that changed your life, that play. And will you revisit that and how in your life you had to overcome what that play meant to you and essence, ending your football career? I know you tried to come back, but you were never the same.
Yeah, that play changed everything. You know, it changed me not only physically but mentally. You know, so the guy, all he had to do was throw the ball. My man was wide open behind me, tight end. I mean, he's running scot free. All he do was throw the ball and they win the game. But luckily, he didn't. You know, we tackle him and we win the game. But following that, the bouts with depression and everything else, I learned a lot about mental toughness during that time period. And it's funny that I was able to pull from a lot of those lessons when it came to my actual eating and my developing my fitness routines. Like, okay, you've been through worse before. You got this. Just tap into your mental toughness, and it goes back to how bad do you want it. So I learned a lot from that injury. I've carried it throughout my entire adult life. When things get challenging. I was like, okay, you were told you would walk with a limp for the rest of your life. You were told you never run again, all this other stuff. But I can do it. So, it was like you overcame it because you were mentally tough. So use that same mental toughness and approach everyday life with that same mentality.
Well, I'm watching the play right now. I got to tell you, it was an unbelievable play because he had the momentum to get in the end zone. And, man, it was a tough play, but you took a negative, you've turned it into a positive, you've got an inspirational story. One more time, Marvin, give them the website and tell them how they can get the book.
The number 4040plusstrong.com, 40plusstrong.com. I promise you, for the price of one cheeseburger, you can change your life.
All right, brother, good to catch up. Listen, this fall, we're still going to be doing Crimson Tide Kickoff. We got to do it in the studio this year because of the coronavirus, but if you're over this way this fall, let's get you on my television show as well, man.
I will make a special trip just for you. You let me know when you want me there, and I'm there.
I'll do it, Marvin. Hey, man, have a great day.
All right, thanks, you too. Bye.
All right.